Guys, what's going on? My name is Louis, and God bless every single one of you. Today is February 16, 2024, and welcome to the Grand Supreme News Channel. Alright guys, so we have some breaking news updates, some very important information coming out. If you can, please share this video. And it says here, the president to deliver remarks on Navalny at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Once again, we have breaking news updates. Let me just bring this up really quick. And it says here, jailed Russian opposition leader Navalny appeared healthy and cheerful when he was seen on Monday, just 4 days before his sudden death. All right. So this is coming out from his mother. So we have breaking news for those of you that don't know. Let me just bring this up really quick. Once again, the Bear political opposition leader, Navalny, passed away. Alright guys, before I start, give this video a big thumbs up. Share this video with your friends, families, and loved ones. I appreciate the love and support. And for those of you that want to contribute to the channel, once again, the PayPal link and the Patreon link is in the description box. Also guys, $1 a month Patreon. We get you access to our live stream every Sunday. We talk about things that we cannot talk about on the platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comments box. And for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, Luis Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. All right, this is going to be big. All right, very, very important video. Please share it. In the year 2021, the president said this. In 2021, the 4-6 told Vladimir there will be devastating consequences if Navalny passed away in prison. He has yet to comment on his death today. So the speech is going to be today. I'm going to bring all the information up. Once again, urgent message coming out from the president due to the jailed Russian opposition leader Navalny. All right, so let's see what's going on here. Let me just bring up this information. Again, my condolences and prayers to the families and friends that lost their loved ones. It says here, Alexei, the Bear most famous opposition leader, has passed on Friday after collapsing and losing consciousness at the penal colony north of the Arctic Circle, where he was serving a long jail term, the Bear Prison Service said. So the mom came out and said, my son was in good shape. He was fine. He was healthy. I spoke to him. I spoke to him Monday. And now all of a sudden, this. Well, one thing I tell you guys is that there's so many strange stuff going on here. And again, I just feel like you guys already know Vladimir said he'd rather see the 4-6 win November. And then all of a sudden this happens. It just so many stuff going on here. Behind closed doors, there is some confrontation going on. Some words between the sleeping giant and the bear. So is this story here, is this the bear leader that took him out? Just like, what's his name? The guy that was running the private military. Man, I forget his name. I truly apologize, guys. But there's been a lot of takeout, put it like that. So this one here, I don't know if it was the bear that did their job. I don't know. But again, this type of stuff, we see it here too. All right. You guys know Jeffrey, right? I'm not going to say the last name. But you guys know that it's like almost similar story, you know, when certain people is behind bars and all of a sudden, hey, this person just passed. So Alexei, 47 years old, rose to prominence more than a decade ago by lampooning Vladimir and the Bear elite, whom he accused of vast lawlessness. You know, one thing I tell you guys is that like I said, it happens all over the place. You step on certain people's foot. You step on the 4 6 foot. You step on Mrs. 33,000 emails foot. You guys know who I'm talking about there. Yeah, very powerful people. All they got to do is that's it. You have the federal, skip that name, service of this region, autonomous district, said in a statement that Alexei felt unwell after a walk at the IK3 Penal colony in Karp, about 1,900 kilometers, 1,200 miles northeast of the Bear capital. All right, let's stop here for a second. So he was feeling unwell. But the mom said he was feeling great. Something happened. Possibly the Kool-Aid, the food. Could be anything. Some people are saying, well, he probably took the SHOT. You guys already know the 2020 thing. So he lost consciousness almost immediately. And look, guys, one thing I tell you, this story, I mean, there's going to be a lot of stuff, a lot of conspiracy, but there's a possibility, maybe because it's way cold up there. It's too cold. It's really cold up there. Especially, again, I did my research. These regions here, they get massive, brutal below zero. He lost consciousness almost immediately, it said. Now, all necessary resuscitation measures were carried out, which did not yield positive results. So you have experts and ambulances stated the DEATH of the convict, the prison service said, adding that causes of the event were being established. So they're still trying to figure out what happened. They don't know why. They don't know why he passed. They're still doing their thing. So you have doc and experts out there trying to figure out why, what happened to him. So you have the Bear Gov spokesman Dimitri said on Friday that the Bear penitentiary service was making all checks regarding the past of jailed opposition leader, but he had no information about the matter. Now, once again, the Bear leader has been told about Alexei passing. The spokesman added. Vladimir, who is running for re-election in a month, was shown on a television clip visiting a factory in the Urals. All right. We're going to see what's going on here. Let me take you on Twitter really quick and see if there is the speech of the president. I'm still waiting for the speech by the president. In 2021, Joe warned Vladimir of devastating consequences for the Bear if Alexei passes in prison. This is what he said. It says, Mr. President, just a quick follow on the same theme of consequences. You said just now that you spoke to him a lot about rights. What do you say will happen if Alexei pass? Joe said, I made it clear to him, to the Bear leader, that I believe the consequences of that will be devastating for the Bear. All right, so once again, we are still waiting for the update. The live stream. So give me a second. Let me see if I can find it right now. Okay, yeah, we're still waiting. Yeah, it's supposed to be at 12 p.m. Right now it's 12:35. We have this breaking news. It says here, the bear says, ooh, the sleeping giant must not make sweeping accusation about Alexei. Ooh, let's see what's going on here. Let's see what's going on here, guys. Truly apologize about a certain advertisement. Something that I cannot control. That comes with the article. I try to, you know, keep everything clean and try to remove them, but something that I cannot control when it comes to website. I can't control that. So I truly apologize. I try to keep it really clean. They sell swimsuits and sometimes they sell phones and others advertisements. So I truly apologize. It says here you have the Bear Foreign Ministry accused the sleeping giant of making sweeping accusation over who was to blame for the past of Alexei on Friday. Now it says here the passing away of a person is always a tragedy, it said. Instead of sweeping accusation one out to show restraint and wait for the official result of the examination. So they're going to find out what really happened. Guys, what if? Just what if? I'm not saying it happened. What if Tucker visited him? Now, I'm not saying, again, I'm not saying, but they're going to investigate. They're going to see what's really going on here. All right, so I'm still waiting on the breaking news. This is the one that we are still waiting.
Good afternoon.
Okay, here we go. I got it.
Off to East Palestine at the moment, but I want to say a few things this morning about Alexei Navalny. You know, like millions of people around the world, I'm literally.
Give me a second. So the live stream has just. Here we go. This is the one. Let me just set up the audio so you guys have a. Here we go.
Both not surprised and outraged by the news. Reported death of Alexei Navalny. He bravely stood up to the corruption, the violence, and all the bad things that the Putin government was doing. In response, Putin had him poisoned, he had him arrested, he had him prosecuted for fabricated crimes, he sentenced him to prison, he was held in isolation. Even all that didn't stop him from calling out Putin's lies. Even in prison, he was a powerful voice for the truth, which is kind of amazing when you think about it. And he could have lived safely in exile after the assassination attempt on him in 2020, which nearly killed him, I might add. But he was traveling outside the country at the time. Instead, he returned to Russia. Knowing he'd likely be imprisoned or even killed if he continued his work. But he did it anyway, because he believed so deeply in his country, in Russia. Reports of his death, if they're true, and I have no reason to believe they're not, Russian authorities are going to tell their own story. But make no mistake, Putin is responsible for Navalny's death. Putin is responsible. What has happened to Navalny is yet more proof of Putin's brutality. No one should be fooled, not in Russia, not at home, not anywhere in the world. Putin does not only target his citizens of other countries, as we've seen in what's going on in Ukraine right now, he also inflicts terrible crimes on his own people. And as people across Russia and around the world are mourning Navalny today because he was so many things that Putin was not. He was brave, he was principled, he was dedicated to building a Russia where The rule of law existed, and the word applied to everybody. Navalny believed in that Russia. He knew it was a cause worth fighting for, and obviously even dying for. This tragedy reminds us of the stakes of this moment. We have to provide the funding so Ukraine can keep defending itself against Putin's vicious onslaughts and war crimes. You know, there was a bipartisan Senate vote that passed overwhelmingly in the United States Senate to fund Ukraine. Now, as I've said before, and I mean this in a literal sense, history is watching. History is watching the House of Representatives. The failure to support Ukraine at this critical moment will never be forgotten. It's going to go down in the pages of history. It really is. It's consequential. And the clock is ticking. And this has to happen. We have to help now. You know, we have to realize what we're dealing with Putin. All of us should reject the dangerous statements made by the previous president that invited Russia to invade our NATO allies if they weren't paying up. He said if an ally did not pay their dues, he'd encourage Russia to, quote, do whatever the hell they want. I guess I should clear my mind here a little bit and not say what I'm really thinking, but let me be clear. This is an outrageous thing for a president to say. I can't fathom from Truman on, they're rolling over in their graves hearing this. As long as I'm president, America stands by our sacred commitment to our NATO allies, as they have stood by their commitments to us repeatedly. Putin and the whole world should know, if any adversary were to attack us, our NATO allies would back us. And if Putin were to attack a NATO ally, the United States will defend every inch of NATO territory. Now's the time for even greater unity among our NATO allies, to stand up to the threat that Putin's Russia poses. You know, I send my deepest condolences to Alexei's staff and supporters. We're going to continue his work despite this loss, despite all of Putin's desperate attempts to stamp out the opposition, and most of all to his family, especially to his wife, his daughter, and his son, who've already sacrificed so much for their family and a shared dream for a better future for Russia. So I just want to say God bless Alexei Navalny. His courage will not be forgotten, and I'm sure it will not be the only courage we see coming out of Russia in the near term. Thank you. I'll be happy to take a couple questions.
Sir, first, was this an assassination?
The answer is we don't know exactly what happened, but there is no doubt that the death of Navalny was the consequence of something that Putin and his thugs did.
And to be clear, you warned Vladimir Putin when you were in Geneva of devastating consequences if Navalny died in Russian custody. What consequences should he and Russia face?
That was 3 years ago. In the meantime, they faced a hell of a lot of consequences. They've lost and/or had wounded over 350,000 Russian soldiers. They've made them in a position where they've been subjected to great sanctions across the board, and we're contemplating what else could be done. But what we were talking about at the time, there were no actions being taken against Russia. And look, all that's transpired since then.
Can you say whether you're looking at increasing sanctions on Russia right now?
We're looking at a whole number of options. That's all I'll say right now.
Is there anything you can do to get ammunition to the Ukrainians without a supplemental from Congress?
No, but it's about time they step up, don't you think? Instead of going on a 2-week vacation. 2 weeks! They're walking away. 2 weeks! What are they thinking? My God. This is bizarre. And it's just reinforcing all the concern and almost, I won't say panic, but real concern about the United States being a reliable ally. This is outrageous.
Are you more confident now that you'll get the Ukraine aid, given what's happened today?
Well, I hope to God it helps. But I mean, the idea we need anything more to get the Ukraine aid. I mean, this is in light of a former president's statement that saying Russia, if they haven't paid their dues to us, go get them. Come on, what are these guys doing? What are they doing?
Sir, how concerned are you about the anti-satellite capability that Russia is developing, and what is your administration planning to do in response?
First of all, there is no nuclear threat to the people of America or anywhere else in the world with what Russia's doing at the moment, number one. Number two, anything that they're doing or they will do relates to satellites and space and damaging those satellites potentially. Number three, there is no evidence that they have made a decision to go forward with doing anything in space either. So what we found out, there was a capacity to launch a system into space that could theoretically do something that was damaging. Hadn't happened yet, and my hope is it will not.
Thank you all.
I'll take one.
Thank you, Mr. President. Switching gears for a moment, have the Israelis presented a credible evacuation plan for the nearly 1.5 million displaced Palestinians sheltering in Rafah? And what would the consequences be for Israel if they move ahead with a full-scale ground invasion without clear measures to protect civilians there?
Well, first of all, I've had extensive conversations with the Prime Minister of Israel over the last several days, almost an hour each. And I've made the case, and I feel very strongly about it, that there has to be a temporary ceasefire to get the prisoners out, to get the hostages out. And that is underway. I'm still hopeful that that can be done. And in the meantime, I don't anticipate, I'm hoping that the Israelis will not make any massive land invasion in the meantime. So it's my expectation that's not going to happen. There has to be a ceasefire temporarily to get those hostages. By the way, we're in a situation where there are American hostages, American citizens that are being held hostage. It's not just Israelis, it's American hostages as well. And, my hope and expectation is that we'll get this hostage deal, we'll bring the Americans home, and the deal is being negotiated now, and we're going to see where it takes us.
An FBI informant at the center of the impeachment inquiry into you has been indicted for allegedly lying. Your reaction to that, and should the inquiry be dropped?
He is lying, and it should be dropped, and it's just been an outrageous effort from the beginning. We did. No, I'm serious. See you in Ohio.
All right. Okay, so that was a quick speech by the U.S. president. Once again, he said that if you guys had trouble with the audio, I'm gonna share that link on my Twitter page. Follow me on Twitter. The Twitter link will be in the comments box. I will share the full speech of the president. But he gave that update and basically saying that Vlad is responsible. Vlad is the one that took him out, and that he didn't mention anything about, what he said back in 2021, that there would be something big, if Alexei passes. He didn't mention anything, but one reporter said, is there going to be like any sanctions? And that's like the closest for punishment on Vlad. So Joe came out, the president came out and said, well, I can't give you much details, but we will hold Vladimir accountable. So there's a possibility it might be some sanctions, who knows. But he also mentioned about the $95 billion, saying that the house is taking forever, something about 2 weeks vacation and this and that. But again, he gave a quick speech, and there will be some consequences. We don't know what it is. But one thing I tell you guys is that here in the Sleeping Giant, and not only here in the Sleeping Giant, but in other places around the world, stuff like this happens a lot. You guys already know it. Jeffrey. You know, the guy with the supposedly that famous island. You guys already know that one. And others. You know, very, very, very important people or whatever. A lot of them, you know, out. Just like in the bear, out. So we don't know what really happened with the bear situation. They're still doing their investigation. Just like here, when it came to Jeffrey, they were doing their investigation. So we're just gonna have to wait. So, but Alexi's mother, she came out and said my son was in, you know, very, very good shape and health and everything. And now all of a sudden they're saying that he was unwell and now he's gone. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Again, please share this video. We're going to see what's going to happen. My gut tells me there's a possibility. Possibly, maybe sanctions. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Once again, for those of you that want to give a life to Christ, you can email me. My email is in the description box. Me and my wife are here to help many and to lead many to the righteous path, and that's the path of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, Luis Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida 34691. Once again, guys, $1 a month Patreon. We get you access to our live stream every Sunday. We talk about things that we cannot talk about on the platform. Also, I posted videos today. Those links will be in the comment box. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Put faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for he's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father but through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.